What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video I have kicked Dawoud out because it is a girl talk video. I'm so excited to do another one of these. It's been a while, so we are definitely due for a girl talk. And I asked you guys, as usual, on Instagram what you guys want me to talk about, if you have any questions, any topics, and I received a lot of really good ones. If you're new here, my girl talk videos are all about discussing topics that aren't necessarily spoken about in our community, so it's all about kind of like a big sister type of talk. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get started. All right, so we're starting off strong. You guys sent in some really good questions, and the first question is, have you ever tried period underwear? Okay, so I used to see ads about this all the time on Instagram, and it really confused me because I don't know whether it's like, do you wear a pad with it and it just doesn't leak, or do you not wear a pad and you just like bleed into the underwear? Like, I'm so confused. But the answer is no, I've never tried it, and I don't think I would either, because it's just not something that I necessarily have an issue with and I need a solution for. So no, I haven't. If you guys have, let me know down below if it's a good thing or a bad thing or what your experience was like. But I just found it really funny that my ads were literally always about period underwears. Second question is, do you have any fillers in? Would you consider any cosmetic fillers / surgeries? I think I've spoken about this briefly on YouTube once, about like surgeries and all that. Growing up, I had a bit of an insecurity with my nose, and growing up in like a society that is like super superficial, especially in the Lebanese community, like everyone has a nose job. It's just like the thing to do. So growing up, I kind of had the idea like, oh yeah, one day when I grow up, I'm gonna get a nose job too, which is such a toxic way of thinking, especially as a child. But unfortunately, that was my reality. And then as I got older, I kind of realized and kind of embraced my natural look in terms of everything, not just my nose. Kind of become more comfortable with the way I look and just more confident in general. And I think that took just time of like rewiring my brain and saying like, no, that having a nose job is not the normal, you know, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So at this point in my life, I am super confident in the way I look, alhamdulillah, and I know that I'm not perfect and I don't have the perfect features, but I've come to realize that that perfection is literally just what society feeds us, and it's not the reality, because every single culture, you go to a different culture, they have a different look, and like what makes one cultural's, or what makes like one certain look superior to the other, if you think about it, and it's just literally what society tells us. So it kind of took me a while to realize this, and alhamdulillah, I'm like at a stage where I'm good. Like, I don't feel like I need anything, but I can definitely tell you that growing up, like having like self-esteem issues and being insecure, and like just like growing up in a society where everyone's telling you have to look a certain way, it can be really hard, and those thoughts do come into your head. But again, like I think I've come past that, and I'm, alhamdulillah, like I'm super happy that I have come past that, because I feel like if I had done something back then, I would have probably regretted it now, and it wouldn't have been like my idea of beauty. So yeah, I don't have any fillers in, I don't have any surgeries done, I don't plan on doing any of that, inshallah. So we're good on that. Okay, so this one is pretty juicy. Do you have to take a full body shower to pray after doing the deed? It's so hard to do that every time. The short answer is yes, you have to make ghusl after getting your period, like finishing your period, and after doing the deed. There are also other ghusls that you could do that are mustahab, like the Friday ghusl. So yes, you have to do a full body shower ghusl every single time after you do the deed. I know it can get annoying, and I saw a funny TikTok actually of someone saying they didn't want to, what was it again? Like they didn't want to do it every single day because that means they have to wash their hair every single day. I just found that super funny. But yeah, you definitely do have to do that. It's just Islamically it's required, and you have to find a way to make it work. Another question is a 13-year age difference okay? Now, I'm assuming this person's asking in terms of marriage. And this is actually a really interesting topic because there is no right or wrong answer, I would say. It literally ultimately depends on the couple themselves, like who they are as people. Because I've met couples that have like a 10-year age gap, but like for example, the guy is 10 years older than the girl, but the guy is like super young-minded, very fun, very energetic, you know, wants to experience everything with the girl, you know, just is on the same level and same page as her. And I've also seen couples that have like a 10-year to 12-year age gap that are on completely two different pages, and their relationship doesn't end up working. So as long as the couple themselves are willing to kind of are on the same like mindset and the same journey in life and similar page, I feel like it could definitely work. Age is not really, it doesn't really determine everything, but it does play a factor, I think. So if you are in a relationship that has like a big age gap, just make sure that you guys are on the same page in terms of everything, in terms of goals, the way you see yourself in the future, like how you have fun, how you communicate. Those things could change with age. So definitely keep that in mind if you are in a situation like that. But I don't think it's like wrong or anything like that. If you are happy and if you enjoy each other's company and you think it can work out, there is no like wrong answer really. All right, next question is thoughts on Muslim dating apps. Now this one's an interesting one. I totally get that in today's world it can be really difficult to make in-person connections or to find people in person, especially now with the pandemic. It's becoming even harder to do that. Personally, I don't like dating apps. That's just a personal thing because I just find like I don't know, it's just a weird vibe that you're on that app for a certain purpose, but that is literally just my personal take on it. I had always wanted to meet my person in person. Like I always wanted to meet them like by accident, walking in somewhere and you meet them. And that's literally how it happened between me and Dawoud, which is so weird that it happened that way. I walked into a restaurant and there you go, he was like the server there. So it's just, it happened to be that way for me and that is the way I wanted it to be, so alhamdulillah. But I know that's not the reality for everyone, and I know that it gets really, really hard to meet people like in person or by accident or through people. So now people are going towards, you know, social media, Facebook, Instagram, dating apps. The only reason I'm hesitant about dating apps, I would say, is because I don't know the intention of the people on there. And I feel like these dating apps, the dating apps these days are just kind of becoming diluted with people just with the wrong intention, I feel. I don't know if there's some like really great dating apps that are very vetted and like, you know, on the dot in terms of like making sure that people are there for the right intentions. I don't know if that exists. If it does, leave it down below. Maybe that will help someone. But like we've had, like Dawoud and I have had like fake accounts of us on those dating apps that are very popular these days, and that just shows me that like the vetting process is not that great because we're clearly not on those dating apps, and we're like they've given us like the weirdest names like Maryam and like Hussein or something like that. We always find our pictures on those dating apps and like those people are catfishing people, so it's very interesting. And I don't know if I trust dating apps like that these days, but I'm sure there are better ones out there, I'm guessing, but my overall thoughts is I'm not really a fan just because of those reasons. But I totally get that that is where society is going towards, because it's just getting increasingly harder to find people, you know, naturally, like while you're going out or at a coffee shop or whatever. That doesn't really happen these days. So yeah, I don't know, I have mixed feelings. Next question is, how do you deal with people asking about kids? I am fed up. Okay, so we've spoken about this on our channel before as well. And honestly, like, I totally get it. It can become really overwhelming when people constantly ask you, like, when are you gonna have kids? Are you pregnant? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And like, that could be a really sensitive topic for some people, because like, what if I was actually trying to have kids, but I was having difficulty having kids? And then you're constantly asking me that question, like, when are you guys gonna have kids? Your kids are gonna be so cute, blah, 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 blah. I understand that their intention is just excitement and, you know, just kind of like curiosity, but you gotta realize that you can put your excitement and curiosity to the side and think about the couple themselves and how it is such a private topic, and it could be such a sensitive topic for some couples, because you truly, truly don't know what some couples are going through. It's becoming really, really popular or really common that couples are struggling with having kids, and that question just adds more pressure and just adds like more sadness if there is an issue with having kids. So just be like sensitive towards that topic, and just honestly, like, that's not like, let's just leave that question behind and not like use that question anymore anytime you see a new couple. Of course, if you're close with the couple, like let's say it's my sister or whatever, like I wouldn't mind that question. But if it's just like someone like random, or even on the internet, we get that question a lot, like, when are you guys gonna have kids? I'm so excited for you guys to have kids, blah, blah, blah. Like, let us breathe. Let the couple breathe. A lot of the times, like literally, like a couple will get married and like within a month they're like, okay, so when are kids happening? When, like, chill. There is a lot of time, inshallah, and I think everyone should have the ability to choose when they want to bring children into this life. It's not like, okay, you get married and bam, like you have to have kids. It doesn't, like, it's not like that. And just that added pressure is not good for a couple most of the time. So the way I deal with it is I honestly just ignore it. Like, anytime I see comments like that, I just honestly just ignore. I don't like think about it too much. Before, it used to bother me and it used to add a lot of pressure on me because I have personal goals in terms of my career, and I know that that is gonna get in the way of me having like children and spending most of my time with my children, which is really important to me. I don't want to be like, you know, a part-time mom. I want to be there for my children full-time. And same with my husband, like Dawoud, like I want him to be there all the time for our kids, because we grew up in families where the mom was taking care of the kid and the dad was out there working, and that's not how our relationship is. We both work together, so we want to be able to, you know, spend quality time with our kid and be able to raise them and be there for every milestone. So having kids is not like, you know, the right time for us right now. And so when everyone would ask us, even family members would ask us, okay, so what's going on? Like any like family gathering, like, so when's it happening? And then we're just there like, inshallah, inshallah, when God wills it, it will happen. So I've just learned to kind of just give that, like, you know, automatic answer and just move on, because at the end of the day, like, not everyone's going to understand your journey and what you want to do and the timeline that you have for your life. So you just kind of have to, like, you know, just brush it off and move on. It's fine. Eventually, like, it'll become like an automatic thing for you. Like, oh, when are you gonna have kids? Oh, inshallah, soon, when God wills it. And then just move on. Like, just don't get overwhelmed by the questions. And honestly, if it is becoming overwhelming, that's when you have to set boundaries. I feel like you have to be like, you know what, I'm gonna have kids when it's the right time for me, inshallah, when God wills it. And you asking me constantly is not gonna change my opinion about children or when I want to have them. It's fine to set boundaries, honestly. And you know, it could be a healthy thing, because it could, you know, make your relationship with that person last longer without you getting fed up, like you just said in this question. So definitely set boundaries if needed. Before I continue with the rest of the questions, I just wanted to let you guys know that we are having an amazing sale over at Ferris. If you're not familiar what Ferris is, it is our brand that we started back in 2021, and we have been so excited for this sale. It is the end of season sale. By the time this video goes up, it will be live, up and running, and inshallah you guys will find your sizes, because I know a lot of things will be sold out very quickly. But basically the whole entire website is up to 50% off. 50. Like, you guys, we have never really had a sale like this before, and the only reason we are doing this is so that we can get all those pieces out and get some new pieces in, which we are so excited for. We have some amazing launches coming for the spring/summer, so definitely head over to our website if you're interested in checking out our pieces. There will be no discount codes needed for this sale because everything is discounted. I will leave the link down below in the description box. All right, back to the questions. The next one is pads or tampons or menstrual cups. All right, so this one is a funny one because I've literally never tried tampons or menstrual cups, and I don't see myself trying it anytime soon because I have no interest in that, because honestly just pads work for me and that's that, you know. So I've never found a reason to change it. I've always used those and it just works perfectly fine. Plus tampons really scare me because of like the toxic shock syndrome stories that I've heard. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just do some research and you'll know. Obviously I know that's like not that common, but it's just like if one thing's working for me, why change it? So yeah, pads all the way. Another question is, do you do your hair and look cute around the house for Dawoud? If Dawoud was here, he'd be like, because I don't do anything. Honestly, most of the time, actually 99% of the time, my hair is just in a messy bun and I'm just chilling at home, lazy vibes. The only time I put effort into my look is when I'm literally putting on the hijab and I make sure that it looks good and you know, my outfit looks good and I'm out the door. I've always said this, and this is really, really weird. I don't know if a lot of people can relate to me in terms of this like situation, but the way I imagine myself in my head is with my hijab on. Like I am fully, like my identity is fully hijabi. Like I don't even, like when I imagine myself in my head, I don't imagine myself without the hijab because I rarely see myself without the hijab, or I rarely put effort into the way I look without the hijab, which is maybe sad for some people, but I've just worn the hijab for so many years that I fully, like it's fully my identity, and that's the way I see myself, you know, and that's the way I go out, that's the way I spend most of my time as. So I'm just so used to myself with the hijab that it's just become who I am, that without the hijab I'm just like a lazy bum, like literally. I mean, I still look cute, like don't get that wrong, but I like don't put in as much effort, and that's just because I don't feel the need to put much effort because like I'm just chilling at home. Like I'm not gonna be like putting on makeup and like fixing my hair, like for what? Maybe like the first month of like our cut tab, like me and Dawoud, like I would like straighten my hair or something. I'd be like, oh my god, he's gonna see my hair, like I have to straighten it. And then like after that month I was like, hello there, sir. So yeah, no, I don't put in any effort. I don't know about you guys, but no. Another question is, would you ever forgive your husband if he cheats on you by accident? I literally, when I read this, I was laughing so hard. Like, how could someone cheat on you by accident? Like oops, like, sorry. How does that work? Like, I have no idea how that works. But if you're asking me, would I ever forgive my husband if he ever cheated on me? The answer is no, I would never, ever forgive my husband if he cheated on me. And that's that, period. All right, so this one is a juicy, juicy one. It is, were you disappointed on your wedding night? Meaning things weren't as you imagined. Short answer is no, because I literally did not imagine anything. Like went in with like, you know, an open mind to whatever it was gonna be. And also I didn't set like unrealistic expectations. Like I didn't think it was gonna be like a movie scene and it was just gonna be, you know, like lights, camera, action, like super romantic. It doesn't work that way, you guys. You guys have to understand that all the scenes or ideas that we have from social media or media in general, about like the first night or, you know, like doing the deed, it is all like choreographed. It is all made to perfection, and that's not what reality is. And that's a really sad part of our society, is that we set these like bars, and then if it doesn't hit that, we go, whoa, what's wrong? Like why is my experience not like that? Reality is that everyone's experience is going to be extremely different, and it might be the same, it might be very different, it might be kind of the same. Like it's just, there's no guarantee that it's going to go the same way that you see in like movies, and most likely 99% of the time it won't be, because that's not reality. That's literally not how things work, you guys. So no, I did not set like an expectation. I was not disappointed because of that reason. I set, and I think we both, Dawoud and I, set an expectation of, we're just gonna take it as it goes, and we're gonna make sure that we're both comfortable along the way. That's the most important part, is that both partners understand each other and they understand that this is a learning process for both of you, and that you just want to take it one step at a time. And it's not like how, like, you know, like Turkish movies or Syrian movies or TV shows are like, just, get undressed. Let's go, chop chop. Like it doesn't work that way. So as long as you have an understanding of like, we're gonna take our time, we're gonna see how this goes, we're gonna explore this together, your wedding night or whatever, the first time will be perfectly fine. It will be a good experience, inshallah. So don't sweat it. And like, there's literally no reason to be disappointed because you shouldn't have set any expectation, really. It just should be a good time for the both of you. And that should be the maximum expectation. Another question is, do you have to make sure to be waxed / shaved all the time? So that was actually one thing that I like used to think about before I got married. I was like, oh my gosh, you're telling me that I have to shave all the time? Like I have to like be like perfectly shaved all the time? And that's just my personality. Like I just don't like hair. So I like to be like, clean of hair at all times, regardless of whether I'm married or not. But the idea of like, it has to be perfect every single day because you are literally living with someone every single day, that worried me. And I was like, how is that even possible? Because like, if you shave, like literally you shave and then like one day later you'll start seeing like little dots because that's how shaving works unless you wax. But even if you wax, you have to wait like 3 weeks for the hair to grow out again and then you can wax again. So like, what do you do during that period? And I kept thinking like, I'm like, what? Like how is that, like, who made this rule in society? Like that is literally impossible. The short answer is no, you don't have to be. Honestly, like who cares? At one point in your marriage, you'll be like, who cares? Like literally who cares? But also depends on your personality. Like I am at that point where like, I don't care. Like let's say I do have a bit of hair, like I don't care to be like, oh my god, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't care. But also my personality is like, yes, you do care. You should be clean of hair. And so I have this like dual personalities that are fighting with each other all the time. So I ended up getting laser hair removal anyways. Like about a year ago, I was doing laser hair removal. So now I'm like, my hair barely grows. And if it does, it's like an easy shave and you're done. So that's what I did to get rid of the hair and to be able to be more manageable. That way I don't have to shave as often. But honestly, it depends on the couple, it depends on the person, it depends on the girl. It's not a big deal, you guys. I think hair is more of a big deal before you get married, and then once you get married you realize, okay, this is not really that big of a deal. It's just hair, and believe me, your guy's gonna be like the hairiest beast on this planet, so he has no reason to talk. All right, so last question for today's video, because I have to get going. If you guys don't know, we are in Dubai, which is why we have like the different background, and we are actually looking for apartments, and we have a meeting today, so I have to get going. But the last question that I will do with you guys today is, how do you get comfortable with your husband taking hijab and clothing off for the first time? So this one is a little bit funny because I totally get it. That was definitely like, I think I mentioned this in like the video that I did with my sister recently. If you haven't watched it, make sure you check it out. We did like a Q&A about marriage, and she asked me like juicy questions about marriage, and I think one of them we touched on like me always wondering, like when I was younger, I'd be like couples know what they look like, like naked. Like that's just weird to me. So growing up, I had that idea, but honestly, when you get married, and I think about this all the time, how weird it is, when you get married, there is this like wall that just goes, like it just gets blown up, and that wall doesn't exist anymore. And you feel totally comfortable with that person. Like literally nothing you see will faze you anymore. It's just khalas, you guys become like one, and it's just not awkward anymore. Now I know like for the first time, that's probably what you guys are thinking about, like, oh, how does that happen for the first time? But I think you create that like really solid relationship before that, like during your engagement period or during your getting to know period, like when you're getting to know the other person. I think you really should work on creating like a very strong relationship with that person emotionally and spiritually, so that when it does come to the physical part, it becomes like a natural process for you guys, and it's not like super awkward. Now, given all of that, I'm sure you guys are going to be a little bit anxious or a little bit nervous because it's a new experience, and that's normal. But don't give it too much thought. I guarantee you, if there was anyone that would be nervous or anxious or just like that would be me, because I am that type of person, especially when it comes to that kind of stuff. But if like I have gotten to that level where it's just like whatever, you know, you guys can definitely do that. And I'm sure if you asked any other married couple, they'll tell you the same thing. Like once you're married, that wall just like is gone, and literally you guys are the same person and you won't feel awkward or anything like that. So I think maybe the only time you may feel that is maybe the first time or the first few times, and then slowly it will become your norm. That is my answer to that question, and that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something. If you have any input on any of the answers or questions that I discussed in today's video, let me know in the comments down below. I literally read all your comments and I learn a lot from you guys, so let's discuss things down below as always. And if you guys want to see another girl talk video, let me know as well, and I'll do these more often, maybe in Ramadan. Maybe we'll do kind of like different editions, like hijab edition, religion edition, Ramadan edition, all that kind of stuff. I feel like that would be really, really fun and interesting. Make sure to check out our huge end of season sale at Ferris in the description box down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!